Okay, so this is probably my first Periscope broadcast. So my name is Chris Ogle, and what I want to talk tonight about is what is community. So think about the communities that you may belong to. So for example, we all belong to a community of our family. We also probably have work colleagues, so that's another community. We could belong to sports clubs. We have communities on social media, schools, pub friends, work colleagues, a whole gamut of people. But what is it about community then that's important to us? Because we are as human beings a group of people that like to come together and support each other. So if we just think about some of the things that community are, it's a support system. Okay, the first thing that community is a support system. It's a place where we can come together with like-minded people who kind of share our philosophies, maybe our principles, our ethics, and it's a place where we can belong. It's a place where we feel like we are respected, where we have value and self-worth, where we can make a contribution. And all these things are, okay, it's not money, but it's all really important to us as individuals for how we kind of fit into the community. It's a sense of feeling that we belong to something which is much bigger than ourselves. Now, why is that important? What is this community doing for us that really floats our boat? And it's really quite an interesting question, because we've actually lost a lot of community out there. We've got very focused on money, on what we have, rather than who we are. And let me ask you a very simple question: how many people do you know? How many people out there know who their neighbours are? So if you look at your neighbours, then people opposite, do you know who they are? Do you know their neighbours? Do you know the people who are either side of you? The good chance are that you'll know those. But what about the people to the side of them? What about the people 3 doors away each side? Do you really know them? When was the last time you had a conversation with one of these people in the street, a meaningful conversation, found out a little bit about them, their story, not what they do for a living, but what about them as individuals? So we kind of lost the skill. Somewhere along the line we lost it. And I'm going to do another show, maybe tomorrow, about how that might have happened, because we didn't just wake up one day and say, oh, let's just give community up, let's not bother about that idea is kind of old hat now. It's something that has been systematically happening for the last 50, 60, 70 years, and it's ended up with us being in the place that we are. So how do we change that? How do we actually get away from this problem of not really knowing who's around us? And there's a saying that I'm sure all of you will have known, which is it's not what you know, it's who you know. And this is a huge truth that's becoming even more relevant today. So, talking to somebody the other day, and we're talking about a job, and a job that he'd been tracking down. You'll know who I'm talking about. And actually, it's through community that has opened up a huge number of channels for opportunity. And through meeting local people, by learning about the people around us, by being part of that, by being present, and being amongst making a contribution, really. I guess that's really what it's all about, and that has opened up a huge new world, and that's the same for every single one of us. And if you think about someone in your life who you think to yourself, well, they're well connected, they know a lot of things, I'll go to them because they'll be able to help us out. They'll actually be able to open those doors that I can't open. What is it about those people? And if you think about it, there's a guy in my life that I've always respected him hugely, and the reason for that is because he was always prepared to give time, he was always prepared to share his contacts, he was always prepared to support, and one of the most crucial things was he always did what he said he was going to do. His integrity was never compromised. In all the years I've known him, and that's since I was 15, never compromised his integrity. And people respect that, and consequently he's the guy to go to. If you want something, you go and meet this guy, and he's never had a problem in his life with anything. So, meeting people, where do you go these days to meet someone that's local to you and find out about those people? Where can you go? And if you're like most people, you go out to work, you come home, and you shut the door, cook dinner, go to bed, and get up, and the only people you probably meet are those that you meet relating to work or even shopping these days. We don't talk to anybody. We go in, we do our shopping, put the stuff in the car and drive home, and we very rarely talk to anybody. So where do you go to share your story and listen to the stories of other people around you? There is so much richness out there in our communities, and we just completely lost touch with it. Have you ever met somebody where you think to yourself, after about half an hour, God, we know so many people, the connections that we've got, where we know the same people, we've been to the same places, whatever. We are all connected, and we just stopped having the opportunity to go and meet other people. So I'm not going to mention it tonight, but rebuilding community and getting back to the situation where you can walk down the street and you can meet people that you know, and you can have a conversation with them, you feel like you belong to that community. Those days are about to be rebuilt. So follow me on here. I'm Chris Ogle. If you think this broadcast has been useful, do share it with some other people. Tell people about it. But I'll be back again very shortly with some interesting perspectives on why we might have lost community and what we can do about putting that community back in place. So thanks if you watched this first one, and there'll be lots more. I think it's quite an interesting and exciting medium, this. Check out Mark Shaw if you follow him, because he's doing shows every day about how to use his platform and how to get the most of it, which is great. So anyway, I'm going to go now, so bye for now, and see you all again soon.